Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Welcome to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. We are so happy that you joined us today. I'm a firm believer that you're here for a reason and that there are no accidental listens when you tune into a podcast. So we just want to welcome you this morning, and we want to know that you have reached a safe space and that we hope you take one thing away from today's podcast, implant it into your life, and remove the excuses that you have been hanging on to for so long. It's our goal today that you just hang those excuses up and that you are willing to face what is in front of you like a courageous person that you are, and that you're ready to change your life. So, hey, I'm Coach Monica. I am excited to be here. I'm joined today with my co-host, Coach Darcy. Darcy, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's a little rainy here.
Yeah.
The dogs are wanting inside and outside and inside and outside, and they don't know where they want to be. And so that's kind of driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And they talk to each other. They're like, hey, it's your turn to go ask her to go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Dogs, I tell
you posted a funny on your social media today. I don't know. I think you're Clark, your standard poodle.
Yes.
If you haven't found him, go find him on Facebook. He's the cutest dog on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that he needs his aunt to come step in, because you kind of said he was in trouble, but I don't think that he was. I think he needs a defender. I think he needs a defender.
Everybody on that had responded to that photo, he knew what he was doing. He's not stupid. He was not stupid. And he looked at me with those golden eyes of his. Mm-hmm. And all I said at first was like, "Oh, Clark." And that's what I got. And then you've got these people advocating, "Oh, Clark, he's just perfect anyway. You need to let up on him." Blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, you don't pay $95 to $100 a month to get him groomed.
What was his crime? You got to tell our listeners what his crime.
So I had just got done planting my garden. And I turned on not the new sprinkler, but the sprinkler system that I have set up for it, watering my newly planted plants. And then, he was not out. I kid you not, he was not outside. Somehow he comes waltzing around the corner soaked from head to toe. His head looked like he had just dunked it in the water. But also what people missed was the fact that he had dirt all around his mouth. So he had been eating my dirt, my fertilizer, all that stuff, and it's natural fertilizer. So whatever concerns people have about my dog, like, oh, you need to take him to the vet. No, he's fine. But he came
mentally he's not fine because you yelled at him.
Yeah, apparently. But he had also decided that, I'm just going to lift up the zucchini plant that Mom had just planted several times. Like every time I went over there, the zucchini plant was out of place. I should probably go check it now. But yeah,
poor Clark.
Yeah.
You have not converted me. Poor Clark.
And I barely even scolded him. Had I scolded him,
those eyes
yeah,
tell me, Auntie, otherwise.
Yes.
Because
that dog does not get punished. Other than all I have to say is, "Oh, Clark.
Oh, Clark.
What did you do?"
Clark needs his own Facebook page. I'm convinced.
Well, he has some reels of his creeping Clark. If you look up hashtag creeping Clark, you'll find him.
Yeah, you probably better do the right hashtag on that, or you could be very surprised.
You might. But aside from Clark and
Well,
in his world, he's cute, but we've got other matters
we
to
have
handle today on
we have
this podcast.
some things to talk about, and
Yeah.
I think it's timely because in my world, you and I stay with our pulse, inclined to watching the weight loss journeys out
Yeah.
there, and we're sensing these days, we're sensing a lot of frustration and a lot of helplessness when it comes to
Mhm,
weight loss because there's so many confusing things out there,
mhm.
and there's so many empty promises and broken promises from people who should know what they're talking about. In fact, they do know what they're talking about because they are intent on getting a lifetime dependent client and patient.
Yes.
And so they do know what they're talking about, and the problem is the people that are hurt in this are the people who desperately need help.
Yeah.
And so we hear this every day. We sit with people who are broken and who are being fed lies. I had 3 people reach out to me this week with the fact that they just went to the doctor for a summer checkup after some huge victories in the ketogenic world and some, people that we had helped through the group program that we run. The group program is very frustrating to us because we don't get to see the end results. And so we get them going on a path. They lose about 30, 40 pounds. They want to do it on their own, and they get stalled. They stall their weight loss. And these people went to the doctor, a couple of them went to the doctor to in hopes that the doctor would say, I'm proud of you. That's a frustration in my book. Uh,
Yeah.
Apart from drug pushing to them,
Yes. Yes.
it's frustrating that these doctors are like, how did you lose it? Oh, I changed my lifestyle. Silence. Shame on you. If you're a physician who does not cheer on your patients for natural weight loss, shame on you. That's malpractice in my book. I
That
know
I
that's a
have
little extreme, but it made me
living
mad.
living that, with, my it was a new young doctor, and I mean, I did happen to judge his own physique. And he
Oops.
said, "Well, you need to make sure that you're having vegetables and moderate carbohydrates and lots of fruits." And
Hmm.
you know, I was like, "But what the heck? Look at you. Like, it
Look
doesn't
at
look
you.
like you
How's
do
it
that."
working for you,
And he's
Buster?
he's telling me to exercise more. And I'm like, "I go 3 times
Mm-mm.
a week." Like, I know that's not like, I'm strength training 3 times a week, and then I have rest days. Like, maybe that is not enough, but that's
Yeah.
what
I want to
yeah,
feel
anyway.
sorry for them because
Yeah.
they don't have the education and nutrition.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
want to feel sorry for them, but when they're silent on somebody who's come in there and said, "I've changed my lifestyle. I've lost 30 pounds." And when they're silent on that, that's intentional.
Yes.
That is intentional.
Yeah.
The non-intentional part could be eat more fruits. They just don't understand the pancreas. They don't understand what fruits
Yeah.
do. They don't understand insulin. I get it. They weren't trained, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But for them to remain silent, and then the other person that messaged me said, I lost all this weight. I told the doc that I'm stuck, and he didn't say anything, but here's a shot.
Mm.
Again, malpractice, because that shot is going to be passive income for this doctor. And I know how much they make on these shots. I know the kickbacks they get. So, of course, that's the first thing they're going to do. Right. And
Yeah.
it's just so discouraging sometimes. And we are caught in between two worlds with KM Health Coaching. We're caught in between empathy and the feeling of frustration for these clients who are so desperate, and seeing that they've been fed a lie that they don't have to change their lifestyle, and seeing them in between two worlds. And it's really frustrating because if we go out here and we slam these shots, we're missing a whole group of people who have been trapped and lied to, right? And
Yeah.
so if
We're
we go
also
and Mhm.
we're also called anti-science.
Anti-science,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
right. And yet, on the other hand, in the other side of that picture, We're we know we know the truth. We know how to get this weight off of people naturally. We know how to keep it off of them. And so we want to be on the front lines of saying, "Hey, grab our hands. Don't take this cheap route," which is breaking their bank accounts.
Mhm.
So it's really not a cheap route, but don't take this shortcut because we have the answer for you. So we're literally, and even I tried to put myself as a practitioner, I tried to put myself as Switzerland and as neutral. When I went into a big meeting with colleagues of mine who are like, "What do we do with the shot? What do we do? We believe in natural weight loss. What do we do? People are doing it." So I tried to play Switzerland in it, and I can't. I can't play Switzerland. I can't be neutral because I'm watching it crush people's lives. I'm watching the results of the weight regain. I'm watching the results of the resistance of this drug when they come back to it. And I'm like, how do I play neutral on a topic that doesn't have neutrality to it?
Mhm.
I don't know how to do it. So, in response to that, we're going to tell you the truth, but we're also going to talk about why somebody would want to do natural weight loss and why somebody would need a coach to do it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And if this is you out there, if you are caught in between two worlds, maybe this will make you think. Now, what we're going to talk about today doesn't come easy. It is not easy to lose weight. Coach Darcy and I have been there. I lost 130 pounds. And the harder part of it, that 130 pounds, was I had to keep it off for 8 years. So it's like two
Yeah.
different journeys, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy, but we're being sold a false bill of goods that if you take this drug, it's going to be easy. It may be easy for 6 months for you, but then all hell breaks loose when either you find that this drug uh, tolerates your body and the drug no longer works, your body is adapted to it, or you lose your weight, you get to your goal, and then suddenly you realize, oh, the price has gone up. I can't afford it anymore. I can do this on my own. And the pounds come raging back quickly. So it's not easy on both sides. But to me, it's either you do the hard things now or you do it later, you know?
Right.
So let's open this conversation up of why. Number one, why somebody would choose a natural weight loss. A lot of excuses are given that I've tried it all. Let's start there.
Mm.
I've tried it all, nothing works. I've tried keto, that doesn't work. When you say it doesn't work, are we saying I quit or I had cheat days? Or that means you did it wrong. That
Yeah.
means you did it wrong. If you have incorporated air quote cheat days, you did it wrong. That means
Mhm.
you're not following a lifestyle that's going to take you to victory. So let's be honest there. Let's be honest there.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
I yeah, go ahead,
I
Darcy.
was gonna say because honestly, there's just a lot of anyone can go to the social media, they can go to the interwebs, they can go to AI now, and they can get all the information that they want, right?
Mhm.
It comes down to the fact that, when they are saying that something doesn't work, eating healthy or not healthy, eating whole foods is not working for them.
Mhm.
Uh, then it gets you to wonder, like, okay, what else is going on?
Right.
When even these bodybuilders that are leaning more towards our side of the world of a balance of whole foods versus how they used to shove carbs down in a season and then lose weight, gain weight.
Mhm.
But these people that are consistent
Mhm.
with being very accurate on what types of food they are consuming
And what that food's
versus
doing to their body.
and what it's doing to their body, they have like this consistency and then you can say, "Oh, well, a coach is like, I'm not a bodybuilder. I am not in the gym all the time. I don't even exercise.
Mhm.
So this does you're not even speaking to me." But in a sense I am in the fact of, that consistency is getting rid of the excuses that you keep bringing up
Mhm.
day to
Let's
day
talk
of why you can't do something.
Right. Let's talk about the myth of the fruit, okay? Because everybody is all up in arms over that. So, Doc says eat lots of fruits. Let's talk about why we choose not to do that and why that can backfire in your face if you choose that route. Now, is fruit bad? No, fruit is not a bad thing. But let's talk about what it does to your body. So you go and you have, let's say you have um, fruit throughout the day. You wake up for breakfast, you have the fruit and yogurt, you have an apple for a snack, you have lunch and you've got some pineapple on your plate. Afternoon, you bring out a banana because you got to get through that afternoon slump. For dinner, for snack, all of this. Let's say you bring in a lot of fruit. Science tells you every time you do that, and if you don't believe me, put a CGM on your arm, put a continuous glucose monitor on your arm. What happens when you have this fruit? It's just like a candy bar. Now they're gonna be like, oh my God, the candy bar and the apple, let's don't compare it. There's fiber in the fruit.
There's
Yes,
nutrient differences.
yes,
Yeah.
that is true, but
Yes.
it doesn't change what your insulin response is. In the presence of insulin, you do not lose weight. When you eat the fruit all day long, you are constantly spiking your insulin. In the presence of insulin, you do not lose weight. It spikes your sugar. It keeps your sugar spiked longer. And those different fruits have different time limits to where your insulin is spiked, right? And so if you keep your insulin spiked all day long, number one, you're overworking your pancreas. That is the cause, and that is the reason why people like to blame insulin resistance because they don't turn that insulin spike off. That the same thing happens with sugar or fruit. You have the same insulin response. So of course you're not going to lose. Oh, but Monica, it's low calorie. Calories don't have anything to do with that. It's the insulin spike. So that that in and of itself is why we have our clients go with the lowest glycemic index fruit, which would be berries, on a limited basis. Fruit is not bad. It's not the bad guy. It's what we do with the fruit,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it's just simple science. So you bring in the weight loss shot, you're shooting yourself, and it's supposed to bring down the insulin. And uh, that's where that breaks down. Okay, so fruit. That's one of the things the docs say. Bring in more fruits, right?
Well, even
So,
vegetables do the same
oh
thing. So
yeah,
we're not just talking about fruits. We're talking about
right,
the vegetables and the glycemic index
right.
for those as well. Yes, they might have fiber in some
Mm-hmm.
of those, but it's they still have a insulin response as well.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, why would somebody need a coach? Why would this program work for somebody who's tried everything and said, "Hey, I have literally tried everything. I've tried keto. It doesn't work." Um, you know, why would somebody say choose to do the hard thing first?
Mhm.
I mean, why would you intentionally choose? You know it's going to be hard. Why would you choose that, right?
Yeah.
And why would coaching and why would a program, no matter what it is, be so beneficial when you're walking alongside a client? Talk a little bit about why is there a necessity for that kind and that style of weight
Mm.
loss?
I think in my perspective, with all of the information out there, it starts to get so confusing. And what we do as coaches is we take our program specifically because not everybody's program is like ours. Ours is amazing. I'm not saying
Mhm.
that theirs isn't, but ours is
Mhm.
great in the fact that we focus on the bio individuality of what that client personally needs.
Mhm.
And I can see how when we first started our program or our business, your business, to how we are now, we see the importance of that more and more
Mhm.
on just being able to help a client know, okay, this is what your body needs. You're sensitive to this. Other people don't typically are not typically sensitive to this ingredient, but you are, and this is what's preventing you from losing weight. Or
Mhm.
we can help our clients I like to say we teach them how to fish so that this is becomes a long-term lifestyle that they it's not just another diet circle. Now you can create it to be a diet circle for those clients that don't trust the process or listen to their coach,
Mhm.
because they're not ready to grieve certain
Yeah.
foods that are preventing them
Yeah.
from
Oh,
losing the weight,
we have weekly sessions with our clients who choose not to take our suggestion, and
right? And
those
they wonder
clients
why.
lose the same 5 pounds over and
Mhm.
over, right?
Yeah.
They
So,
do.
and that
So,
to me shows, like, for our program, like, even though somebody wants that lifestyle and they want that change, there's something still inside of them that is holding them back
mhm,
and continues to use these excuses, that prevents them from having success with our
mhm,
program. Even, or if they're just wanting to choose a natural way of living this lifestyle, uh, it's it becomes a struggle because they're not willing to focus on their big why of
mhm,
why they want to live a lifestyle of health and focus on their metabolic health, to lose the weight. They're not focused on that. They're focused very close to the painting. Like if
mhm,
somebody's to stand very close to a painting and they're only seeing one small speck, and they're overwhelmed with that one small speck, they're too close to the painting.
mhm.
So
Right. So we
if
help them take a step
we
back.
yes, exactly. We're
Yeah.
encouraging them to step back for a little bit to see the whole picture, and then we can step in again for a little bit to focus on, okay, now that you've seen the whole picture, now go back to this small spot again. This is what we're going to
Mhm.
focus on and work on.
Right. Well, and the other
Um
thing too is a lot of people who have tried, the low carb way of life, they have done it wrong. And
yeah.
so it has just led them. I don't know how many clients I have had that said, I don't know why I'm not in ketosis. I can't figure out why. When we go look at the macros, oh, well, here's the reason. There's some keto bread that is on your macros. Now we are not for sure. We could be surprised one day that to find out that it's not a scam. But could you send us the ingredient list? What's first on the ingredient list? Wheat.
Uh-huh.
Wheat. If it has wheat, we do not eat. You have a 76% insulin spike
Yeah.
with wheat compared to sugar. Wheat and sugar are the same when it comes to your insulin. And it's just a simple fact of I didn't know, Monica. It said keto. We trust when this says keto that it is actually keto. 9 times out of 10, it is wrong. It is wrong and it's a scam. It's just somebody trying to make money. And so it's simple things like that that as we walk with the client in their day-to-day life, we can see those things. We can
Mhm.
see them. Oh, Monica, the other coach over there said that, cheat days are okay because you can't live a life of restriction for the rest of your life, so cheat days are okay. Well, what happens to those cheat days? One cheat day turns to two a week, turns to suddenly you look around and you're sitting at a bar with a tenderloin in front of you, right?
Yes.
So cheat days that don't work. However, it's our job as a coach to help you so you're not feeling deprived.
Mhm.
The only
Yeah.
time I ever feel deprived on keto is when I go to the movie theater and I smell the buttered popcorn, right? That and those senses that remind me of my old lifestyle. But again, you know what? My 130 pounds of freedom is worth taking a step back and saying, Monica, are you willing to put a snack bag together so that you can enjoy the idea and the comfort of eating while you're watching a movie?
Mhm.
Are you willing to take a step back and say, you know what, my health is it feels much greater than the soybean filled buttered, that's not even butter they put on the
It's
popcorn, right?
not. It's not. Uh, you know,
So
this thing that kind of popped into my head today was, it's time to stop negotiating with your health, and that's exactly when we are not willing, like you're talking about, willing to give up and grieve those food choices that got us into a poor health to begin with. If we're
mhm,
negotiating with our health,
mhm,
um, you know, we're we're basically messing with our life, our
mhm,
one life.
Yeah.
and
You
our
get one
one
shot at
body,
this.
one shot.
Mhm.
Sometimes people get a second shot if they are revived from a heart attack.
Oh, I was gonna say
That's those
that's
people get.
true. That's
I mean,
true.
we're gonna see it on that side, but
I mean, if you're
just
officially gone, you don't get one. You don't get a
m
second chance,
some
but
people do
yeah,
get
some people
second
do.
chances, and
I
that
read a book
means
about that.
yeah, like,
Well,
if you're
in
still not
all
taking your health into serious hands there, then you've got
in all
oh my gosh.
honesty, I got a I got a second
Yeah,
chance.
yeah,
I
we
don't ever
both
get the
did.
time that I miss with my children, but as I watch my little grandson walk into my front door saying, "Grammy, Grammy," I did get a second chance. I just
Mhm,
didn't get it with his dad,
right.
because I was a really unhealthy mama. And so,
Mhm,
yeah, I did get a second chance. And I treat my body like I did get a second chance when it
yeah.
comes time to do I eat this tenderloin? I just happen to see that scroll through my Facebook feed of a tenderloin that's twice the size of a
Oh
plate.
my
So that's on
gosh.
my mind,
'Tis
apparently.
'tis fair season,
It is fair
soon.
season. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's the facts are here why people would choose our program, why people would go the natural, healthier way, the
Mhm.
harder way of losing the weight comes down to a few things here, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
And the top one being, accountability of having somebody, um, not hold your hand, but
Mhm.
push you along in a way of be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
I'm here. Where are you?"
Right.
Or, I've been sitting at this gym now for an hour and you're not in the parking lot yet. So where are you?
Right.
You've got to have
Right.
people in your life to help create that system. And we
Yeah.
talk about James Clear's book a lot about our doing the 1% and creating systems to create those habits.
Mhm.
Because willpower does not come, you know, a as we are born. We are not born with willpower. We have to
Mhm.
create it and that
Yeah.
drive. And I believe that that's one of our things in our program that helps people um, continue to come back because
Mhm.
they have it in their mind like, you know what, you're right, I need to have an accountability person to tell me to be here and how
Yeah.
to create it. It comes down to even just, I mean, the other day having a talk with a client saying, you know what, sometimes to-do lists are great to help
Mhm.
ease our mindset,
Yeah.
that overwhelming mind that we have so much to do or feeling overwhelmed and cluttered, and sometimes just writing it out on a piece of paper is going to
Mhm.
be beneficial so that you're not so overwhelmed. It's as simple as that.
Well, and
um
even I had 3 conversations with clients this week, who are on the struggle bus, and I'm like, "Have you gone to group?" "Oh, if I go to group, then, those people are doing so well in there." So even our own clients, we have to say, there's not one single person in our weight loss support group that has not been struggling. And we are too afraid to say, I am hurting, I'm struggling, because we want to act all strong. Well, acting all strong is what caused you to be obese in the first place.
yeah.
So it's time to break down those barriers and those walls and that that look of perfection and say, hey, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. The clients who stay away from group are the ones who fail in our program because they think they're an island. They think that they can do it themselves. They can't do it themselves.
Hmm.
And when they escape group, when they stop coming to group, the second thing they did, well, first they stopped tracking their food, then they stopped coming to group. But then about a 2 month span later, then they start skipping their sessions with us on the one-on-ones. That's the progression that happens, and that's why group and that's why coaching is so successful, because when
Hmm.
you stray off the path and you realize, oh gosh, I can't do it on my own, they have a choice at that point. They either go on the shot or they come back to group and they finish their journey,
Yep.
right? And the ones
Right.
who go on the shot fail because they have come to a point where they have allowed those old foods to come back into their life, and they're relying on the shot to make them lose the weight, of which they do, but then they go off the shot and they're not in a lifestyle in this and it's about averaging 10 to 13-pound regain a week. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It comes down to, the word wishy-washy kind of comes to play of like, okay, somebody who wants to have a healthy body, who
Mhm.
or they're focused more so on the outskirts of their body, of the physique, what people
Mhm.
see when they first meet you. It when they become wishy-washy, they are not devoted
Mhm.
to changing their health around. They
Yeah.
have a slight interest in just looking great and having, being able to fit in that cute dress that, or,
Yeah.
nice, I don't know what guys wear these days,
Mhm.
t-shirt. But they are wanting that, but
Mhm.
they are not willing to do the hard work. And unfortunately, as coaches, we have to put our those britches on of,
Mhm.
these are your excuses, folks. You
Yeah.
are not gonna change your health around
Yeah.
for the long haul if you're being wishy-washy
Right.
because you don't want to give up that tradition of going to the ice cream shop during the summertime at
Yeah.
the lake, or you're not willing to give up the uh, the beer,
Mhm.
fellas, because you love it
Yeah.
so much. You love beer in the summer. You love beer at events. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, you have got to want it enough
You do.
in order to do any of
Yeah.
these programs out here.
Yeah.
Any of
And
them.
things like the medication skips that. You
Yeah.
don't want it enough. You don't,
Right.
because
No.
I had to let a client go not too long ago who didn't want to give up the beer. He was wanting his summer. He's like, I don't, it's about calories in, calories out. I'm watching my calories. I don't need to get rid of this. And which, by the way, beer is liquid bread.
It is liquid bread.
And I'm like, and I came to the point where there was literally nothing that I could do for this client. And I just had to say, you don't want it enough.
Mm-mm.
When you want
Yeah.
it again, you call me. I will be here to pick up the pieces. Oh, you won't need to pick up any pieces. I'm good. Well, the time came, and usually it doesn't happen right away. Usually there's about 10 pounds that are gained before the clothes stop fitting again. And when they come back, we have to get rid again of about 10 to 12 pounds. And it's just a cycle.
Hmm.
And so that's where, when you stay close to group, you stay close to your coach, she is going to hold your hand through the entire ouchie part. Yeah. Giving up some of those things is not fun,
Right.
especially if you struggle with food addiction, which 1 out of 3 of you out there listening in our audience struggle with food addiction or eating addiction. It's hard,
Yeah.
but doing hard things will give you your life back,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Another
yeah.
another another form of why you would want to do this natural way, and I'll just say it because we don't have to go in depth about it, but more of like the toxins that you're putting in your body.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
people just don't want that.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling cornered because you're being pressured to take this easy shot from your
Mhm.
doctor, um, and but yet you still have this heart of like, I don't want to be shooting myself with some unknown ingredients
Yeah.
that's apparently making me lose fat. Like, why is that?
Right.
And you are in that corner. There is a way out. It's not necessarily the shot. It's not necessarily some supplement. It's not going to be, whatever they have metformin, even like, it's not going to be that. It's
Mhm.
got like, totally get it. Those toxins, they don't leave you for a while. Like it's
Yeah.
very hard to get those toxins
Give me
out.
10
So
years.
yeah. So even when you are losing that fat, you're still releasing these toxins and you're feeling pretty crummy. So
Yeah.
if you
Which, by the
don't,
way, is why we recommend binders
yeah, right.
to help get
So
them out.
that's a big one of why a natural way of eating is a better choice, a better option. And
Mhm.
it comes down to a science formula on how to eat these foods. And
Mhm.
it's simple. They're whole foods. It's not ultra processed. Speaking of ultra processed, you've got that's no different than probably the shot because of how many chemicals are in those ultra processed foods. Unfortunately, I had someone say, you know what? Not everybody cares how their food is made like
Mhm.
you do.
Yep.
Majority of people don't care. Please comment on our podcast and say, "I care how our food
Yeah.
is made," and prove this person wrong that the majority
But
of people
you'll care when you turn 40 and your body is
Right.
screaming.
It's like,
Yeah,
"Why
you
are
may
you
not
hurt
care now
Mm.
as a young person. You will care when you can't pick up your grandkid. And when that
Yeah.
grandkid looks at you and says, "Grammy, let's go out and run. Let's go out. I'm going to race you to the curb." You will care at that time when
Yeah.
you are riddled with pain and so obese you can't run down the driveway. You will care then. But then it's too late. Yeah, it breaks my heart
Yeah.
when I see these excuses.
I had a morbid, vision of your story.
Oh,
It turned like the child was running out to the road and you couldn't catch him because you couldn't move.
you
That's
can't
where
move.
that's where I went. Is that where you were
Yeah.
headed?
Yeah. It is real. It is
Oh,
so real.
shoot.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
But
And
But
scary.
right now, when you are young and when you're able to do that, yeah, it is easy to mock a health
Yeah.
coach. It's
Yeah,
easy to,
absolutely.
just it's almost slander in my book
Yeah,
because the people who really do care are trying their best and they're
right.
trying and they're working their butts off and their reward is coming. But it's hard to see a reward when you're going through the hurt.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
easier to fall for some of these jokers who mock people it's just not the young people. Every person in our weight loss program right now has an enabler in their life, and it makes it very sad. It makes it very lonely for those people, and that's another reason why the group and the coaching is so important because you are able to walk alongside people who will support you versus those people who are enablers in your life. We're
Yeah.
all going to have them. We're all going to have the rebel who says, "Oh, well, look at me. I'm eating this tenderloin over here and you're having that plain old ribeye over there."
Yeah. Right.
We want to encourage you today. We want to encourage you. Please don't take the shortcut. Please don't take the side of doing it by yourself. Don't take the side of, "I think I got this by myself," because you don't. You don't. Very rarely we seen anybody who's able to make it through the doctors, the drugs, and the enablers. Very rare. It is possible. It is possible. And if you make it through that alone, maybe you should be coming over here to coach us or coach our clients because maybe you were intended to be a coach if you are
Yeah.
strong enough to make it through.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we are here. We believe that it is possible. We're seeing 3 of them running through the races right now at 100 pounds lost, and they've got their life back. We're
Yeah.
seeing it now. We want to spread that. We want that to be so contagious that you can't see the shame from your doctor who says, "Here's a pill." We want you to be we want you to have your life back so much that you can only see the finish line. You can only see your goals and you are the one who is going to make it. You're the
Mhm.
one who's going to make it. So, we hope that you've taken something from this journey today in this podcast of a real talk, and why somebody would need a coaching program, why somebody would want to do this thing the natural way. We're not the
Yeah.
popular kids on the block
No,
these
we're
days.
not. We're
We're not going to
not.
assume we are. The popular kids on the block
Mm.
are drugged.
Yeah.
it's
I would
the
just
it's the case.
I would just reiterate, stop negotiating with your health
Mhm.
when, that's the biggest thing for me lately is people are just, gambling with
Mhm.
it and gambling with, all these supplements and these vitamins and pills and shots, all these things, and they're gambling. They don't know what their years down the road is going to be.
Yeah.
So stop negotiating.
Yeah. Yeah, and take it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Take it
Take it
back.
back.
And there's lots of different routes that you can take it back. We're not talking about one single lifestyle. We've got folks on carnivore, we've got folks on keto, we've got folks on a lot of different paths. The commonality is sugar-free and low carb.
Hmm.
So, we release a new podcast about every Tuesday, unless it's summertime. And then summertime, sometimes we are busy
Yes. I
making
like the
sure
about.
Clark is out of the
Yes.
garden. I may have to go rescue Clark for the summer, and
Oh
he
my
may have to come
goodness.
over with my
Hey, if you're
with
gonna
my
fit the
slobber.
grooming bill, Hey, that's
Well,
fine.
I've got somebody
You
who
do?
with the bleeding heart who offered you to fix his grooming
Yes,
situation.
my mother.
She's partial to that
He's
guy.
fine. I just
Yeah,
brushed him out. He's fine.
he's fine. Did he
All
just
right.
have a grooming? Like, was it this
Eh,
week?
no, no, no.
Okay,
If it
all
was
right.
that, I would have been like, "Oh my," I would
We
have
would have heard
y
words.
yeah.
It's
But it's
expensive.
fine. It's
Yeah,
fine. It
it's
is.
fine.
It's
Everything's
pricey.
fine. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Please, if this has helped you, message us. Go to our website, kmhealthcoaching.org. If you're like, okay, I've been where they've talked about, I know that I've got to do the hard things. I know I need a coach. Go to kmhealthcoaching.org. Sign up for a free health assessment where you will talk to us one on one to decide what path you need to take. Because we have lots of paths. You got to choose it, and sometimes you sign up for the wrong one. We don't want you to do that, so sign up with our scheduler and get a free consultation. Also, join us live on our social media. You can find us KM Health Coaching on social media. You will see us go live every Tuesday morning. And if you are listening through Apple, give us a like, give us a feedback, give us, you know, tell us whatever's on your heart. We'll take it all. All right. We'll see you next time, coach. It was good to chat with you
Yeah.
today and see you on the other side.
Bye.
Hey, it's Coach Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great. We cannot wait to see you over there.